I can feel a powerful leveraging of energy in being more deliberate about my thoughts. I believe that at many levels I've always known this, and it feels good to return to my core beliefs about my power and value and worthiness. Part 3. Maintaining my physical well-being. 79. My thoughts create my physical experience. The idea of success for most people revolves around money or the acquisition of property or other possessions. But we consider a state of joy as the greatest achievement of success. And while the attainment of money and wonderful possessions certainly can enhance your state of joy, the achievement of a good-feeling physical body is by far the greatest factor for maintaining a continuing state of joy and well-being. Every part of your life is experienced through the perspective of your physical body, and when you feel good, everything you see looks better. Certainly, it is possible to maintain a good attitude even when your physical body is diminished in some way, but a good-feeling body is a powerful basis for an ongoing good attitude. And so, it's not surprising that since the way you feel affects your thoughts and attitudes about things, and since your thoughts and attitudes equal your point of attraction, and since your point of attraction equals the way your life continues to play out, there are few things of greater value than the achievement of a good-feeling body. It is quite interesting to note that not only does a good-feeling body promote positive thoughts, but that also positive thoughts promote a good-feeling body. That means, you do not have to be in a perfect state of health in order to find feelings of relief that can eventually lead to a wonderful mood or attitude. For if you're able to somehow find that relief, even when your body is hurting or sick, you will find physical improvement, because your thoughts create your reality. 80. Complaining about complaining is also complaining. Many complain that it's easy to be optimistic when you're young and in good health, but that it's very difficult when you're older or sicker. But we never encourage using your age or a current state of failing health as a limiting thought that disallows improvement or recovery. Most people have no idea of the power of their own thoughts. They do not realize that as they continue to find things to complain about, they disallow their own physical well-being. Many do not realize that before they were complaining about an aching body or a chronic disease, they were complaining about other things first. It does not matter if the object of your complaint is about someone you're angry with, someone who's betrayed you, behavior in others that you believe is wrong, or something wrong with your own physical body. Complaining is complaining, and it disallows recovery. So, whether you're feeling good and are looking for a way to maintain that good feeling state of being, or if your physical body is diminished in some way and you're looking for recovery, the process is the same. Learn to guide your thoughts in the direction of things that feel good, and discover the power that only comes from vibrational alignment with Source. As you continue to read here, things that you've known long before you were born will be remembered, and you'll begin to feel a resonance with these laws and processes that will give you a feeling of empowerment. And then all that is required for the achievement and maintenance of a healthy good-feeling body is some deliberate attention to thoughts and feelings, and a sincere desire to feel good. 81. I can feel good in my body. If you're not feeling good or looking the way you want to look, it has a way of reflecting out into other aspects of your life experience, and it's for that reason that we want to emphasize the value in bringing your physical body into balance and comfort and well-being. There is nothing in the universe that responds faster to your thoughts than your own physical body. And so, aligned thoughts bring a quick response and obvious results. Your physical well-being is really the easiest of subjects over which you have absolute control, for it is what you are doing about you. However, because you're translating everything in this world through the lens of how your physical body feels, if you do get out of balance, it can negatively affect a much larger part of your life than only your physical body. You're never more clear about wanting to be healthy and to feel good than when you are sick and feeling bad. And so, the experience of being sick is a powerful launching pad for the asking for wellness. So, if in the moment that your sickness has caused you to ask for wellness you could turn your undivided attention to the idea of being well, it would occur immediately. But for most, now that you're feeling bad, that's what has your attention. Once you're sick, it is logical that you would now notice how you feel, and in doing so you would prolong the sickness. But it was not your attention to the lack of wellness that made you sick, instead it was your attention to the lack of many things that you desire. Chronic attention to unwanted things holds you in a place of disallowing your physical well-being as well as disallowing the solutions to other subjects you're focused upon. If you could focus your attention upon the idea of experiencing physical well-being with as much passion as you focus upon the absence of it, not only would you recover quickly, but maintaining your physical well-being in balance would also be easy. 82. Words do not teach, but life experienced as simply hearing words, even when they are perfect words that accurately explain truths, does not bring understanding. But the combination of careful words of explanation coupled with life experience, that is always consistent with the laws of the universe, does bring understanding. It is our expectation that as you hear these words, and then live your life, you will achieve a complete understanding of how all things occur in your experience, and you will accomplish complete control of all aspects of your life, especially things that have to do with your own body. Perhaps your physical condition is exactly as you want it to be. If that is the case, then continue to focus upon your body as it is, feeling appreciation for the aspects that are pleasing you, and you'll maintain that condition. But if there are changes that you would like to make, whether it is in appearance or stamina or wellness, then it will be of great value for you to begin telling a different story. Not only about your body, but about all subjects that have been troubling you. As you begin to positively focus, getting to feel so good about so many subjects, that you often feel passion rise up within you, you will begin to feel the power of the universe. The power that creates worlds flowing through you. You are the only one who creates in your experience. No one else. Everything that comes to you comes by the power of your thought. When you focus long enough that you feel passion, you harness more power and you achieve greater results. The other thoughts, while they are important and have creative potential, usually are only maintaining what you've already created. And so, many people continue to maintain unwanted physical experiences simply by offering consistent, not powerful and not accompanied by strong emotion, thoughts. In other words, they merely continue telling the same stories about things that seem unfair or unwanted things that they disagree with. And in doing so they maintain unwanted conditions. The simple intention of telling better feeling stories about all subjects that you focus upon will have a great effect on your physical body. But since words do not teach, it is our suggestion that you try telling a different story for a while, and observe for yourself what happens. 83. The law of attraction expands my every thought. The lower says, that which is like unto itself, is drawn. In other words, that which you think in any moment attracts unto itself other thoughts that are like it. That is why whenever you're thinking about a subject that is not pleasant, more unpleasant thoughts regarding that subject are quickly drawn. You find yourself, in very short order, not only experiencing what you're experiencing in this moment, but reaching into your past for more data that matches that vibration. And now, by the lower, as your negative thought expands proportionately, so does your negative emotion. Soon you find yourself discussing the unpleasant subject with others. And now they add to it, often reaching into their past, until in a very short period of time most of you, upon any subject that you ponder very long, attract enough supporting data that it does bring forth the essence of the subject of the thought into your experience. It is natural that by knowing what you do not want you are able to clarify what you do want. And there is nothing wrong with identifying a problem before beginning to look for a solution. But many people over time become problem-oriented rather than solution-oriented, and in their examination and explanation of the problem they continue the perpetuation of the problem. Again, telling a different story is of great value. Tell a solution-oriented story instead of a problem-oriented story. If you wait until you're sick before you begin to try to focus more positively, it's much harder than if you begin to tell the story of well-being from your place of feeling good. But in any case, your new story will in time bring you different results. That which is like unto itself is drawn. So, tell the story you want to live and you will eventually live it. Some people worry that since they're already sick, they cannot now be well, because their sickness now has their attention, and therefore their attention to sickness is perpetuating more sickness. We agree, that would be correct, if they only have the ability to focus upon what is at this time. But since it is possible to think about things other than what is happening right now, it is possible for things to change. However, you cannot focus only upon current problems and get change. You have to focus upon the positive results that you are seeking in order to get something different. The lower is responding to your thought, not to your current reality. When you change the thought, your reality must follow suit. If things are going very well for you right now, then focusing upon what is happening now will cause the well-being to continue. But if there are things that are happening now that are not pleasing, you must find a way of taking your attention away from those unwanted things. You have the ability to focus your thoughts about yourself, about your body, and about the things that matter to you in a different direction from only what is happening right now. You have the ability to imagine things that are coming, or to remember things that have happened before. And when you do so with the deliberate intent of finding good feeling things to think and speak about, you can quickly change your patterns of thought, and therefore your vibration, and eventually your life experience. 84. 15 minutes to my intentional well-being. It is not easy to imagine a healthy foot when your toe is painfully throbbing, but it is of great value for you to do everything you can do to distract yourself from your throbbing toe. However, a time of acute physical discomfort is not an effective time to try to visualize well-being. The best time to do that is when you're feeling the best you usually feel. In other words, if you usually feel physically better during the first part of the day, choose that time for visualization of your new story. If you usually feel better after taking a long warm bath, choose that time for visualization. Set aside approximately 15 minutes where you can close your eyes and withdraw as much as possible from your awareness of what is. Try to find a quiet place, where you will not be distracted, and imagine yourself in a state of physical thriving. Imagine walking briskly and breathing deeply, and enjoying the flavor of the air you are breathing. Imagine walking briskly upon gentle incline and smile in appreciation of the stamina of your body. See yourself bending and stretching, and enjoying the flexibility of your body. Take your time exploring pleasant scenarios with the sole intent of enjoying your body, and appreciating its strength and stamina, and flexibility and beauty. When you visualize for the joy of visualizing rather than with the intention of correcting some deficiency, your thoughts are more pure and therefore more powerful. When you visualize to overcome something that is wrong, your thoughts are diluted with the lackful side of the equation. Sometimes people explain that they have long-held desires that have not manifested, and they argue that the lower is not working for them. But that is because they've been asking for improvement from a place of keen awareness of the lack of what they desire. It takes time to reorient your thoughts so that they're predominantly focused toward what you want. But in time it will feel perfectly natural to you to do so. In time your new story will be the one that you tell most easily. If you do take the time to positively imagine your body, those good feeling thoughts will become dominant. And then your physical condition must acquiesce to those thoughts. But if you only focus upon the conditions as they exist, nothing will change. As you imagine and visualize and verbalize your new story, in time you will believe the new story. And when that happens, the evidence will flow swiftly into your experience. A belief is only a thought you continue to think, and when your beliefs match your desires, then your desires must become your reality. Nothing stands between you and anything that you desire other than your own patterns of thought. There is no physical body, no matter what the state of decline, no matter what the conditions, that cannot achieve an improved condition. Nothing else in your experience responds as quickly as your own physical body to your patterns of thought. 85. I am not bound by others' beliefs. With a little bit of effort focused in the right direction, you will achieve remarkable results. And in time you will remember that you can be or do or have anything that you focus upon and achieve vibrational alignment with. You came into your physical body and into this physical world from your non-physical perspective, and you were very clear about your intention to be here. You did not define all of the details of your physical life experience before you got here, but you did set forth clear intentions about the vitality of your physical body from which you would create your life experience. You felt enormous eagerness to be here. When you first arrived in your small infant body, you were closer to the inner world than to the physical world, and your sense of well-being and strength was very strong. But as time passed and you became focused into your physical world, you began to observe others who'd lost their strong connection to well-being. And bit by bit your sense of well-being began to fade as well. It is possible to be born into this physical world and continue to maintain your connection to who you really are and to your absolute well-being. However, most people, once they're focused into this time, space reality, do not. The primary reason for the fading of your awareness of personal well-being is the clamoring of those around you for you to find ways to please them. While your parents and teachers are, for the most part, well-meaning people, they are, nevertheless, more interested in your finding ways to please them than in your finding ways to please yourself. And so, in the process of socialization, almost all people in almost all societies lose their way, because they're coaxed or coerced away from their own guidance system. Most societies demand that you make your action your top priority. You are rarely encouraged to consider your vibrational alignment, or your connection to your inner world. Most people eventually become motivated by the approval or disapproval that is directed at them by others. And so, with their misplaced attention upon accomplishing the action that is most respected by the onlookers of their lives, they lose their alignment, and then everything in their experience is diminished. But you were eager about being born into this physical world of such amazing variety, because you understood the value of that contrast from which you would build your own experience. You knew that you would come to understand from your own experience what you preferred from the variety of options that would be available to you. Whenever you know what you do not want, you understand more clearly what it is that you do want. But so many people take that first step of identifying what is not wanted, and instead of then turning toward what is wanted and achieving vibrational alignment with that, they instead continue to talk about what they do not want. And in time, the vitality that they were born with wanes. 86. There is time enough to accomplish it. When you do not understand the power of thought, and you do not take the time to align your thought to allow this power, you are then resigned to create through the power of action, which comparatively is not much. And so, if you've been working hard with your action to accomplish something, and have not managed to achieve it, often you feel overwhelmed or incapable of now making it happen. Some people simply feel that they do not have enough time left in their lives to be and do and have the things that they have dreamed of. But we want you to understand that if you will take the time to deliberately align with the energy that creates worlds through the power of focusing your thoughts, you will discover a leverage that will help you quickly accomplish things that have formerly seemed not possible. There is nothing that you cannot be or do or have, once you accomplish the necessary alignment. And when you do, your own life experience will give you the evidence of your alignment. Before things actually manifest, your proof of alignment comes in the form of positive good feeling emotion. And if you understand that, then you will be able to hold steady to your course, while the manifestation of the things you desire are making their way to you. The lower says, that which is like unto itself, is drawn. Whatever your state of being, whatever the way you feel, you're attracting more of the essence of that. To want or desire something always feels good, when you believe you can achieve it. But desire in the face of doubt feels very uncomfortable. We want you to understand that wanting something and believing you can accomplish it, is a state of alignment. While wanting something and doubting it, is misalignment. Wanting and believing is alignment. Wanting and expecting is alignment. Expecting something unwanted is not alignment. You can feel your alignment or misalignment. 87. Why do I want perfect bodily conditions? Although it may seem strange to you, we cannot begin to address your physical body without addressing your non-physical roots and your eternal connection to those roots, because you, in your physical body, are an extension of that inner being. In very simple terms, in order to be at your maximum state of health and well-being, you must be in vibrational alignment with your inner being. And in order to do that, you must be aware of your emotions, or feelings. Your physical state of well-being is directly related to your vibrational alignment with your inner being, or source. Which means, every thought that you think on every subject can positively or negatively affect that connection. In other words, it is not possible to maintain a healthy physical body without a keen awareness of your emotions and a determination to direct your thoughts toward good-feeling subjects. When you remember that feeling good is natural and you make an effort to find the positive aspects of the subjects that you're considering, you will train the thoughts to match the thoughts of your inner being. And that is of tremendous advantage to your physical body. When your thoughts are chronically good feeling, your physical body will thrive. Of course, there is a broad range of emotions from those that feel very bad to those that feel very good. But in any moment in time, because of whatever you're focused upon, you actually only have two choices in emotion: a better feeling one or a worse feeling one. So, you could accurately say, there are really only two emotions, and you effectively utilize your guidance system when you deliberately choose the better feeling of those two options. And in doing so, in time, you can tune yourself to the precise frequency of your inner being. And when you do that, your physical body will thrive. 88. I can trust my eternal inner being. Your inner being is the source part of you that continues to evolve through the thousands of life experiences that you live. And with each sifting and sorting experience, the source within you always chooses the best feeling of the available choices, which means, your inner being is eternally tuning itself to love and joy and all that is good. That is the reason that when you choose to love another or yourself, rather than find fault, you feel good. Good feeling is confirmation of your alignment with your source. When you choose thoughts that are out of alignment with source, which produces an emotional response like fear or anger or jealousy, those feelings indicate your vibrational variance from source. Source never turns away from you, but offers steadily a steady vibration of well-being. And so, when you feel negative emotion, it means that you are preventing your vibrational access to source and to the stream of well-being. As you begin telling stories about your body, and about your life and your work and the people in your life, that feel good as you tell them, you will achieve a steady connection with that stream of well-being that is ever flowing to you. And as you focus upon the things that you desire, feeling positive emotion as you focus, you access the power that creates worlds, and you flow it toward your object of attention. 89. What is the role of thought in traumatic injuries? Whether the trauma to your body seemed to come suddenly as a result of an accident, or whether it came from a disease such as cancer, you've created the situation through your thought. And the healing will come through your thought as well. Chronic thoughts of ease promote wellness, while chronic stressful, or resentful, or hateful, or fearful thoughts promote disease. But whether the result shows up suddenly, as in falling and breaking your bones, or more slowly, as in cancer, whatever you're living always matches the balance of your thoughts. Once you've experienced the diminishment of well-being, whether it has come as broken bones or internal diseases, it is not likely that you will suddenly find good-feeling thoughts that match those of your inner being. In other words, if before your accident, or disease, you were not choosing thoughts that aligned with well-being, it's not likely that now you're faced with discomfort or pain or a frightening diagnosis you will suddenly find that alignment. It is much easier to achieve great health from moderate health, than to achieve great health from poor health. However, you can get to wherever you want to be from wherever you are, if you're able to distract your attention from the unwanted aspects of your life, and focus upon aspects that are more pleasing. It really is only a matter of focus. Sometimes a frightening diagnosis or traumatic injury is a powerful catalyst in getting you to focus your attention more deliberately on things that do feel good. In fact, some of our best students of deliberate creation are those who have been given a frightening diagnosis, where doctors have told them that there was nothing more that could be done for them. Who now, since they have no other options, deliberately begin to focus their thoughts. It is interesting that so many people will not do what really works until all other options have been exhausted. But we do understand that you've acclimated to your action-oriented world, and so action does seem to most of you to be the best first option. We're not guiding you away from action, but instead encouraging that you find better feeling thoughts first, and then follow with the action that you feel inspired to. 90. Could a congenital illness be vibrationally resolved? From wherever you stand you can get to wherever you want to be. If you could understand that your now is only the jumping off place for that which is to come, you could move quickly, even from dramatic unwanted things, to things that please you. If this life experience contains a data that causes you to give birth to a desire, then the wherewithal to accomplish it is available to you. But you must focus upon where you want to be, not where you are, or you cannot move toward your desire. However, you cannot create outside your own beliefs. 91. Major diseases come and go. But why? Jerry, as cures are being discovered, why don't we just finally run out of diseases to be cured? Abraham, because of your attention to lack. Feelings of powerlessness and vulnerability all produce more to feel powerless and vulnerable about. You cannot focus upon the conquering of a disease without giving your attention to disease. But it's also very important to understand that looking for cures for diseases, even when you find them, is a short-sighted, and in a long-run ineffective process, because new diseases are continually being created. When you begin to look for and understand the vibrational causes for diseases, rather than looking for cures, then you will come to the end of the pile of diseases. When you are able to deliberately accomplish the emotion of ease, and its accompanying vibrational alignment, it is possible to live disease-free. Most people spend very little time basking in appreciation for the wellness they are currently experiencing, but instead they wait until they are sick and then they turn their attention to recovery. Good feeling thoughts produce and sustain physical well-being. You live in very busy times and you find many things to fuss and worry about. And in doing so, you hold yourself out of alignment. And disease is the result. And then you focus upon the disease and perpetuate more disease. But you can break the cycle at any time. You do not have to wait for your society to understand in order to achieve wonderful physical wellness yourself. Your natural state is one of wellness. 92. I've witnessed my body heal itself naturally. Your body is made up of intelligent cells that are always bringing themselves into balance. And the better you feel, the less you are vibrationally interfering with that cellular rebalancing. If you're focused upon things that are bothering you, the cells of your body are hindered in their natural balancing process, and once an illness has been diagnosed, and you then turn your attention to that illness, the hindering is greater still. Since the cells of your body know what to do to come into balance, if you can find a way of focusing your attention upon good feeling thoughts, you'll stop your negative interference, and your recovery will come. Every disease, hear it, dis-ease, is caused by vibrational discord, or resistance, without exception. And since most people were unaware of their discordant thoughts prior to the illness, usually making little effort to practice good feeling thoughts, once the illness occurs, it's very difficult then to find pure positive thoughts. But if you could understand that your thoughts, and your thoughts alone, are causing the resistance that is preventing the wellness, and you could turn your thoughts in a more positive direction, your recovery could be very fast. No matter what the disease is, and no matter how much it is progressed, the question is, can you direct your thoughts positively regardless of the condition? Usually at this point someone asks, but what about the sick child, who's just been born? Do not assume, because a child is not yet speaking, that the child is not thinking, or offering vibration. There are tremendous influences to wellness and sickness that occur even when the child is still in the womb, or newly born. 93. By attention to wellness I'll maintain wellness. Just as your wound or sickness is evidence of misalignment, your healing or wellness is evidence of alignment. Your tendency toward wellness is much stronger than your tendency for illness. And that is the reason that even with some negative thinking most of you do remain mostly well. You've come to expect your wounds to heal, which helps tremendously in the healing process, but when the evidence of your illness is something that you cannot see, where you must rely on the investigation of your doctor, who uses his medical tests or equipments to probe for information, you often feel powerless and fearful, which not only slows the healing process, but is also a strong reason for the creation of the illness. Many people have come to feel vulnerable about the unseen parts of their body, and that feeling of vulnerability is a very strong catalyst in the perpetuation of illness. Most people go to the doctor when they are sick, asking for information about what's wrong. And when you look for something wrong, you usually find it. The lower insists on it, actually. A continual searching for things wrong with your body will in time produce evidence of something wrong. Not because it was lurking there all along and you finally probed long enough to find it, but because repeated thought eventually creates its equivalent. 94. When inspired to visit a medical doctor. There are many who would protest our perspective, claiming that we are irresponsible when we do not encourage regular checkups on the quest for things that have gone wrong or could potentially go wrong with your physical body. And if we did not understand the power of your thoughts, we might even say that if it makes you feel more secure to go to the doctor, then by all means go. In fact, sometimes when you go looking for trouble and do not find it, you do feel better. But more often than not, the repeated looking for something wrong over time creates it. It really is that simple. We're not saying that medicine is bad, or that there is no value to be received by a visit to your doctor. Medicine, doctors, all healing professions in general are neither good nor bad at their own face value. But instead they are as valuable as your vibrational stance can allow them to be. Our encouragement is that you pay attention to your emotional balance, work deliberately to find the best feeling thoughts you can find, and practice them until they are habitual. And in doing so, you will tend to your vibrational alignment first, and then follow through with whatever action you feel inspired to. In other words, a trip to your doctor or action toward anything, when accompanied by joy, or love, or good feeling emotion, is always valuable. While action that is motivated by your fear, or vulnerability, or any bad feeling emotion, is never valuable. Your physical well-being, like everything else, is profoundly affected by the beliefs that you hold. Usually when you're younger, your expectation of wellness is stronger. But as you get older, most of you degenerate on a sort of sliding scale that reflects what you're seeing in others around you. And your observation is not inaccurate. Older people often do experience more illness and less vitality. But the reason for the decline of people as they get older is not because their physical bodies are programmed to break down over time, but because the longer they live the more they find to fuss and worry about, causing resistance to their natural stream of well-being. Illness is about resistance, not about age. 95. Euphoria in the jaws of a lion. Jerry, I heard that a famous man, a Dr. Livingston, while in Africa, was dragged off by a lion that had grabbed him in his jaws. He said that he went into a sort of euphoric state and felt no pain. I've seen prey go limp like that when they're about to be eaten by a larger animal. It's kind of like there is a giving up and the struggle is over. But my question is about his statement about feeling no pain. Was what he was calling euphoria a mental condition or a physical condition? And is that something that only happens in extreme conditions, like when you're about to be eaten or killed, or could it be utilized by anyone when there is something that's painful in order to not feel the pain? Abraham, you cannot accurately separate that which is physical from that which is mental from that which is coming from your higher or inner being. In other words, you are a physically focused being, yes. And you're a thinking mental being, yes. But the life force, or energy, that comes forth from within you, is offered from a broader perspective. In a situation where it's likely that you would not recover, in other words, once a lion has you in its jaws, usually he's going to be the victor, your inner being intervenes and offers a flow of energy that would be received by you as that sort of euphoric state. You do not have to wait until you're in such an intense situation before you have access to the stream of well-being from source, but most people do not allow it until they have no other choice. You were right in your choice of words that there was giving up that allowed that stream of well-being to flow powerfully. But we want you to understand that what was actually given up was a struggle, the resistance, not the desire to continue to live in this physical body. You have to take all of that into consideration as you're examining specific situations. Someone with less enthusiasm for life, with less determination to live and to accomplish, may very well have experienced a different outcome, and have been killed and devoured by the lion. Everything that you experience is about the balance of thought between your desires and your expectations. A state of allowing is something that must be practiced in normal day-to-day circumstances, not in the midst of attacks by lions. But even in the middle of such an intense situation, the power of your intentions always causes the outcome. Practiced alignment, brought about by consistently good-feeling thoughts, is the path to being pain-free. Pain is only a more emphatic indicator of resistance. First there's negative emotion, then more negative emotion, then more negative emotion. You have tremendous leeway here. Then sensation, then pain. We tell our physical friends, if you have negative emotion and you don't realize that it's an indicator, letting you know about resistant thought, and you don't do something to correct your resistant thought, by the lower your resistant thought will grow stronger. If you still don't do anything to bring yourself into alignment and better feeling thought, it will grow stronger still. Until eventually you will experience pain or illness or other indicators of your resistance. 96. How could someone feeling pain focus elsewhere? Jerry, I've heard you say that in order to heal ourselves we want to get our thoughts off of the problem and onto what we are wanting. But if we're in pain, how do we not feel it? How can we get our attention off the pain long enough to concentrate on something we do want? Abraham, you're right, it is very difficult not to think about the throbbing toe. Most of you do not think clearly about what you do want until you're living what you don't want. Most of you sort of drift into your day blundering here and there, not offering any real conscious thought. Because you do not understand the power of your thought, you usually do not offer any real deliberate thought until you're faced with something that you do not want. And then, once you're faced with something that you do not want, then you attack it fully, then you give it your attention, which, knowing the lower as we do, only makes things worse. And so, our encouragement would be, look for times, or segments, when you're not feeling such intensity of throbbing pain, and then focus upon the well-being. You have to find a way of separating what is happening in your experience from your emotional response to what is happening. In other words, you could have pain in your body, and during the pain you could be feeling fear, or you could have pain in your body while feeling hopeful. The pain does not have to dictate your attitude or the thoughts that you're thinking. It is possible to think about something other than the pain. And if you can achieve that, then in time the pain will subside. However, if once the pain occurs, you give the pain your undivided attention, then you will only perpetuate more of what you do not want. Someone who's been focused negatively upon any variety of subjects, and now is experiencing pain, now has to overcome the pain and focus positively. You see, your negative habit of thought brought about the illness, and to suddenly switch to positive thoughts, required to allow wellness, is not likely to be a fast process, because now you have the hindering pain, or illness, or both, to contend with. Preventative wellness is far easier to accomplish than corrective wellness. But in either case, improved feeling thoughts, thoughts of greater and greater relief are the key. Even in situations where a lot of pain is being experienced, there are times of greater and lesser discomfort. Choose the best feeling times from the range you're experiencing, to find positive aspects and to choose better feeling thoughts. And as you continue to reach for thoughts that bring greater emotional relief, that positive leaning will eventually bring you back to well-being. Every time. No exceptions. I am living a very abundant life, and it feels so good to realize that whatever this life experience causes me to desire, I can achieve that. I love knowing that I am unlimited. I feel tremendous relief in recognizing that I do not have to wait for money or things to materialize before I can feel better. And I now understand that when I do feel better, the things and experiences and money that I want must come. As easily as air flows in and out of my being, so it is with money. My desire draws it in, and my ease of thought lets it flow out. In and out, ever flowing. Always easy. Whatever I desire. Whenever I desire. As much as I desire. In and out. There is no right or wrong way to tell your improved story. It can be about your past, present, or future experiences. The only criterion that's important is that you be conscious of your intent to tell a better feeling improved version of your story. Telling many good feeling short stories through your day will change your point of attraction. Just remember that the story you tell is the basis of your life. So tell it the way you want it to be. 97. My natural state is one of well-being. At the core of that which you are is wellness and well-being. And if you're experiencing anything less than that, there is resistance present within your vibration. Resistance is caused by focusing upon the lack of what is wanted, while allowing is caused by focusing upon what is wanted. Resistance is caused by thought that does not match the perspective of your source. Allowing is experienced when your current thoughts do match the perspective of your source. Your natural state is one of wellness, one of absolute health, one of perfect bodily conditions. And if you're experiencing anything other than that, it is only because the balance of thought within you is toward the lack of what you want instead of what you do want. It is your resistance that causes an illness in the first place. And it's your resistance to that illness that holds it to you once it gets there. It's your attention to what you do not want that creates unwanted things in your experience. And sir, it's logical that your attention to what you do want would be more appropriate. Sometimes you think you're thinking about well-being, when you're really worried about being sick. And the only way to be sure of the vibrational difference is by paying attention to the emotion that always accompanies your thought.